Okay, we're back. I'm in my basement. I think my koa tree is dying, so I can't be out there. It's a little bit more comfortable down here anyway. So I did open that door for turning a sphere, and you may be wondering, how do you turn a sphere on a lathe? And first thing that you're gonna need to do is turn these two items. These are cup chucks. This one goes into your chuck, and what we'll do is we'll rough out a sphere, and we'll put the sphere with the two ends on it between these two cup chucks, and then we'll spin it with it in this direction. So turning a sphere on a lathe requires what they call two-axis turning. This being the first axis, it turns this way, and the second one will take this, part it off, and there'll be two spots with remnants on it, and we'll take that, turn it like this, and we'll turn this way, and then you will be able to turn off those two remnants. So first thing you need to do is turn these two items. This should be soft-ish wood, or it could be hardwood. The hardwood can dent your softer wood, so that would be up to you. You will need a chuck. We can talk about a chuck for real quick. There are two major types of chucks, dovetail and serrated. These are dovetails. I like dovetails. There's a discussion of which is stronger. I don't think it really makes a difference. The advantage of a dovetail chuck is that it doesn't crush the wood. The serrated chucks do crush the wood here, so when you take it out and put it back, it may or may not center perfectly like it does. So a dovetail chuck, what I do is, all chucks have a number one jaw, and when I stick this in there, with a pencil, I mark where the number one jaws are. So when you take it out and put it back, you'll know exactly where to put it back, and it does make a huge difference of where you put this back. So that's the one thing about chucks. Okay, this goes in your tail center. That dot in there is where this little spike goes, and that's important because it does center this. That's just a decorative line. So basically we'll take these out and we'll clamp that ball in there later on. You'll see it. An alternative is you could use one of these. It's just a chuck, and one of the tail centers, and it doesn't have a point. This will just press on the sphere or anything. That's an alternative, and you won't have to make one, but these are cheap, almost free. Okay, in order to start, we need to get this a cylinder. And how do you turn a cylinder? If I didn't tell you earlier, what you can do is you can line up your tool rest like this and look along your bedway and line up the bedway, which is parallel, and your tool rest. So now this should be parallel with your bedways, and when you turn, you hold your finger there, and it's like a guide, right? And that's how you make a cylinder-ish. It's not perfect, but it's pretty close. The second thing is that I already cut that off. You'll need to figure out your diameter of this, right? So there's a couple of ways. This is your regular calipers. This is not an expensive one. It doesn't have to be. The limit of this is that anything wider than this, you won't be able to do this, right? You'd have to go from the end. But if you go from the end, if you notice that this isn't a perfect cylinder, so if you were to measure from the end, it would be off, right? So this is another, these are just, I don't even know what these called. These things. Dividers? Anyway. But these are better because you can get something that's fairly large. So you get your diameter here. Get this, and I already marked this, but what you would normally do is guess where your center is, and figure out where these two lines are, and then draw a line and cut that. I already cut that. I will cut this one. You do want to leave a little bit of extra space because you want to be able to turn that off. The rule number 3, I think, of wood turning is you can cut wood off, but you can't put it back. So if you make this too small, you're not going to have a cylinder or a sphere, right? So leave yourself a little bit of extra room in this dimension. So this got to be a circle, and then take your measurement and split that in half. That's going to be an eyeball guess, right? So that's also why you need to add some more stuff. Okay, I'll put this on time lapse so you don't have to. Oh, let's do a couple of runs. So basically, this is all spindle turning. Right. You do not want to touch that line, okay? So the object is to try and guess how well you can turn a cylinder, right? Just get rid of that. So you will see a little better, right? So don't touch this. You can turn that off later. Light passes. And take your best guess at a sphere. This is not actually to turn a sphere. That's your end of your sphere, right? This is not actually how to turn a perfect sphere, but this is just skill building lesson. Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah. This will be interesting. This little defect here. So I'll stop. I'll put it on time lapse. I'll get my parting tool. I'll part down to there, sort of like that. You want drive masses on the end. You don't want to do, you want to keep these equal, right? Because when you do put it this way, it's going to rotate, and if one side's thinner than the other, then it's going to vibrate. So you want to do that part enough, but not too much, and it should be the same on each side, right? Okay, be back. Okay, so I remounted these. I did spin this and true it up so that when you do remount it, if it does not center absolutely correctly, you can just true it up with a gouge or something. Anyway, I did that. I mounted my little cup centers, and this is basically your skill building set, right? So I think this was my left hand side, so I think it was like this. Most of the time, most people who are right-handed, your left side is actually better. I'm not sure why. As you can see, this side looks better than that side, so I should have took it more off. But I was in a hurry, and I'm trying to do this as a demonstration project. So yeah, we'll be able to fix that. So this is the second axis, right? Remember, this was on the first axis like this when you put this line here, and then this is going to be the second axis, right? So we put this horizontally. I don't know, is that horizontal? Anyway, yeah. So we'll clamp that down, and then we'll go from there, right? So the object will be to turn this and not cut this line off, because we do know that that line is a sphere, right? Okay, so here we go. Again, this is not necessarily a way to turn a sphere to play with it, but a skill building. So basically, it'll teach you your right curve and your left curve and your right curve. All right, here we go. So when you start this, you want to cut just this off, right, to start. If you start way over here and cut that, you may or may not need to cut that, and again, you can't put that wood back. So basically, yeah, we just want to take off these lumps, and hopefully we'll have a sphere at the end. That's about how big the little remnant is, right? And this is my dominant side, and it is the harder side actually to turn from what I used to. I did change gouges during the video, and it's because this one's sharper. I should have put this in time warp, huh? Oh, let's see how we're doing. Getting there. Oh, see, you get the picture, right? So I didn't do a very good job because I'm taking off this line here, right? So yeah, this was basically how to, and I kind of rushed everything. I didn't do what I needed to do as far as making that original one a nicer cylinder. So if you want, yeah, you could continue to cut this and refine it. Maybe I'll do that. Okay, so I did that 3 times, right? And I left that. So right now it looks pretty close. Yeah, if you wanted to, you can sand it and finish it real nice. Actually, if you do, when it was a cylinder and you were to sand it and make it all nice and you were good, then you just have to do this twice. But anyway, so yeah, that's how you do it. And I did make this. Make a little stand. Spheres are fun. Right. All right. Thank you very much for watching.